Recently, we sailed on Carnival Conquest. Now, this was an interesting cruise for us because it had been around 16 years, almost 16 years since I sailed Carnival. I think even longer for you. We cruise a lot of different lines. I think I'm up to 18. I like to try everything out, but we hadn't been on what's arguably the world's most popular cruise line in a long time. So, wanted to see what that experience was like. So, if you want to see what the day today was like, we went on a 3-night cruise to Bimini in the Bahamas. You can check out the videos that we'll link down below, above. They're linked here. You can find them. And you'll see the video that we shot each day. That kind of, you can go along with us in that way. But a lot of people asked us, okay, well, what was your overall take on Carnival? And while it's a limited sampling, right, a 3-night cruise on one ship, they have a whole fleet of very different ships and different itineraries. We wanted to wrap up our overall thoughts in this video and talk about it. And toward the end, of course, we are going to compare our thoughts on Carnival with other cruise lines. We've done a lot of Royal Caribbean.
Yeah.
We've done some NCL. And then, of course, other lines, MSC, I guess would maybe be somewhat comparable. And, of course, many other lines that are, premium lines, specialty lines that wouldn't be fair to compare to Carnival. So, let's dive right in and talk about it. We're going to start with food, sort of. Actually, before we talk about food, do me a favor. Click like, subscribe, ring the little bell thingy. There's a bell here, maybe. That would be awesome. Now we can talk about food. Main dining food, let's start with that. We actually don't do main dining on all the time. We tend to do a lot of specialty and try out a lot of different things. This is a short sailing though, so I think for dinner...
We did main dining, I thought it was every night.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think all we did was the main dining room. Partially because they were so efficient. I thought they were really good with getting us in and out quickly so that we could make it to shows. They did a very good job at accommodating us when we had other things to do.
And I was impressed at this because, and this applies to kind of everything that we're about to talk through. This is during a time that, because of the way that visas are working and COVID and all these different things, there are staff shortages across cruise lines. And Carnival is very upfront about that and said, hey, we're going to try our best, guys. Yeah. But we found main dining the service was very fast. Quality of the food, I thought was good. Things came out hot.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Well seasoned. I think we talked about the spicy things were actually spicy, like.
Yeah, that was a big one, and that was the main dining and other venues as well. The folks in the main dining room, very nice. It's an interesting looking room overall, more hot pink lighting and Eiffel Towers than I would have expected. We'll talk about that with decor though. Yeah. Now in the buffet, we'll do the buffet quite a bit, either for breakfast, lunch, or even sometimes dinner, because there's so many things on ships we want to enjoy. Again, 3-night cruise, we actually didn't eat a normal meal at the buffet. I had a piece of cake there. I had 2 pieces of cake. Mm-hmm. One, not so great. Got to be honest, Embarkation Day. Didn't do anything for me.
Desserts on contemporary lines, I think, are a little bit tricky sometimes.
They can be hit or miss. Yeah. But you didn't have the German chocolate cake. That was fantastic.
Yeah, you said that was really good.
So I did go in there. There were a lot of other options on Carnival Conquest. There were burritos and arepas and tacos over at Blue Iguana Cantina.
The arepas were only in the morning. I think it was for breakfast, but they were good.
Yeah. Love Blue Iguana. We've had Blue Iguana. So it's been a long time since we sailed Carnival, but we've done day visits several times on several different ships, including Carnival Mardi Gras. Super awesome. Can't wait to sail her or one of her sister ships. So we love Blue Iguana already. They had sushi sort of on the side of the buffet area.
Yeah, sushi and poke bowls.
Yeah. There was an upcharge. It was reasonable. I think rolls were like $8. Small menu, but it was all made to order. So if you wanted something changed, made a certain way, they did it for you. I was actually pretty happy with that.
I liked what I had.
We didn't check out Guy's Burgers. It was just always slammed. Yeah. Hey, people love it. And good by them. There were other options as well. There was a little seafood place we didn't check out. Pizza out back. I thought it was pretty good.
It was pretty decent. Yeah, I thought, for complimentary especially, because I think, on other lines that we've been on, the complimentary pizza just isn't very good, and then they have other options that are enough charge. So
the pizza reminded me of what they do on Holland America.
yes.
I didn't think the ingredients were as good as what we'd had on Holland America, but the way they prepare it, the ovens that they use,
dough is the same. I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, and we really like Holland America's pizza. As you mentioned, one thing that stood out across all these things, if something said it was spicy, it was actually, I think, by most people's standards.
Yeah, reasonably spicy. We had Indian food because there was always an Indian food option, so we had that along with our entree sometimes. And I think on one night that's all we did, and it was spicy. Like when you ordered it spicy, it was actually a little bit spicy.
We eat stuff very spicy, much more so than most people. So we're not the best people to judge, but because of that. Usually on cruise ships, like, oh, is that spicy enough for you? Like, I don't notice at all. Thanks, though. But yeah, stuff was spicy. I was happy about that.
Me too.
That made it for me. Drink package, it's food adjacent. Carnival calls it the Cheers package. We went ahead and did that. It's, I think, $60 a day, something like that. And that covers you for drinks up to $20 and up to 15 alcoholic beverages per day, per person. It's plenty for, I think, the vast majority of people. As much coffee, bottled water, non-alcoholic beverages as you want. What did you think about the quality of drinks? Like, I don't know if you had many mixed drinks.
I did. I like the cocktails over at the what is the bar? The
Alchemy?
Alchemy bar. Yeah.
That's their mixology bar.
Yeah.
They do a great job there. They have all these
really good
different tinctures and neat dry ingredients and garnishes, but flavorful ones. Yeah, I think they might do mixology bar better than maybe any cruise line that I've checked that out on.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there were some in the past that have had better ones, but I think current iterations, there's just not a lot that are doing really the craft cocktails. So I thought that was very good. I also like the theming of the bar because it looks like an old style, like apothecary kind of thing. So
Apothecary?
Apothecary. I said the wrong word.
Whatever. Sorry, I wasn't calling you out. I was like, wait, have I been saying that wrong?
No, I said it wrong.
So drinks overall, yeah, they had a good beer selection as well.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about wines. Can't speak to wines. Good liquor selection.
They had Lafroig, or was it Lafroig? No, Ardbeg. They had Ardbeg. They had one of the scotches we like. Yeah.
So yeah, food. You know what? Really, that was better than I expected.
Yeah, I was
in most ways.
Yeah, that exceeded my expectations definitely. I knew Blue Iguana because we had already been there, so I knew I was going to love that.
And we didn't go to any specialty restaurants that were $25, $50 like we often do on ships, and that's okay as long as something's worth it in the end.
Yeah. Other than the sushi, I don't think we had anything with an upcharge, and that was nominal. So.
Yep. Very true.
Really good included food.
I know one very quick thing also about the Cheers package. I just got to say this because I don't like this Carnival. Covers drinks up to $20. Hey, that's great. That's a great threshold. $21? Oh, you actually only get 25% off of the 21.
So it's not the difference.
What? I would have happily paid $1. I would have happily paid several dollars, but yeah, didn't love the way that worked if you ordered a drink that's over.
That said, I think there was only one thing that wasn't under $20 that we wanted the entire time. Like the cocktails that we had.
Right, that's not going to be a problem for most people. Just know that if you see something, if you're like, oh, that's a really good tequila, or that's a really good cognac, and it's $24, you're not paying $4. That's all.
Yeah.
Entertainment. Let's talk about entertainment and see how I can somehow mention more food or drinks during entertainment. Again, 3-night sailing, but we did a couple things. Trivia.
Yeah.
What was the first trivia, the music trivia?
They had to read part of the lyrics to the song, and I think you had to guess what song it was. So it wasn't like a name that tune where they were playing the song. It was somebody would just read the lyrics without saying
that's right.
To let you go. If I have to beg and plead for your sympathy, I don't mind because you mean that much to me.
It sounded super strange.
They wouldn't read it in a melodic way. Yeah. They would read it as if it was just words in a textbook. I feel like that might be hard to do.
It was funny to watch because the host would have to try to kind of.
And her English was not her first language, and she was perfectly understandable. That was fine. But I thought, wow, that might be even harder if English isn't your first language, but you knew the song before.
Yeah. I think in some cases you just didn't know the song, so that helps. Maybe if you've never heard it.
So we did that, and then there was we went during June, which is Pride Month.
Yeah.
And so they did a Pride trivia, which that was. You ever think I'm bad at history? Good example. I thought we went into that and we're like, we got this.
I wasn't that confident, but I think we got more of the like historical questions than the pop culture ones. There were two that I got wrong that were both about TV shows I've never watched.
Yes, there was one about a singer, and I was just like, as soon as I heard her name, I forgot who it was. A big singer.
I feel like we did better than a lot of people did on the historical stuff.
That's true.
Yeah,
I appreciate you making me feel better about that. But trivia, we say all that to say trivia was fun. Mixed attendance. It was a little hard to tell who was participating when we went because they did it in the atrium. And that's a hopping place, man, because they've got the atrium bar right there, guest services over there. There are lots of nice seating areas. So mixed participation, but the hosts were excellent. Live music, that's something else that we found in the atrium. In fact, there was almost always live music somewhere, and the atrium was the most popular spot for that, rotating through a few things. I liked that there was a house band. Don't know what they were called. Sorry, guys, because they're watching. Probably not.
I can't believe we didn't look at.
And then they had wasn't there like a trio that played electric violins?
Yes, I heard that a couple times. That was really cool. Yeah, there were a few. The music was good, and the fact that there was just live entertainment everywhere was really nice because a lot of.
Oh, they even had over by the casino. Remember they had that little mini stage kind of. They called it the Impressionist Boulevard. There was live music up there too.
Yeah, that's in that part that has a lot of stuff. There's like those flowers.
A lot going on there.
Yeah.
In terms of decor, entertainment.
Yes, we're going to get to decor later, but there's a lot going on there.
So yeah, live music. We were happy. There were a lot of options. We enjoyed listening to folks. Added to the ambiance. Theater shows, unfortunately, we didn't catch any. We've been in that theater when we toured Carnival Conquest, and I've got some pictures of it in an article that I will link below.
Yeah, the theater is beautiful.
I think it's the prettiest room on the ship.
Yeah, it's one of the, like, I don't know, it's very opulent, I guess. Like, which I think works in the theater. I feel like it's one of the nicest theaters I've seen on the ship.
Also, they have whatchamacallit tables.
Oh, it's a cabaret style.
Yeah. I like that. There's a little drink there. You don't feel all crowded in.
Yeah.
So we did catch a comic in. There's a large aft lounge called the Degas Lounge.
Degas, yeah, because they have the ballerina sculptures everywhere.
Yeah. She was okay. Comedy, like food, is highly subjective.
Yeah.
She was funnier than I am.
I thought that there were some parts that I thought were really funny, and like anything, she was good.
Enjoyed going. And then the cruise director, I figure we'll mention this now. We'll talk about service in a second, but the cruise director, gotta call out Lawrence West.
Awesome.
I'm the kind of person, I think we both are, we don't necessarily notice who the cruise director is very much. And part of it is because there are a lot of announcements, which I don't love, but he was excellent in the announcements and everything he was coordinating. Yeah. He was funny, energetic, amusing, charming, not annoying or like over the top. The entire time I was like, man, I want to hang out with this guy. Actually, he seems fun.
I thought he was really good. Yeah.
So yeah, Lawrence West. If you catch him on a Carnival ship, let's talk about shore time. This will be a quick discussion. There was one port. It was Bimini.
Yes.
We did do an excursion there. I don't even know what excursions were available. Should have researched that.
We will later.
But we like Bimini. It's a very small island if you've not been. We've been there a bunch with Virgin Voyages. We'll be there again with them in a few weeks, in fact. But usually there we go to a beach club that when you walk down the pier is off to the left. That's where all the resorts are. Down to the right is where the city is. And you'll want to take a cab probably into the city or rent a golf cart. That's popular there. You can check out in our day 3 video what we did. Went to a weird place called Dolphin House. Really cool.
That's kind of amazing. I've never been to that side of the island, by the way. Because you had said it was a small island. We usually go to the other side, and you had been there before, but I had not. That was really cool.
It's been a while. Yeah. But I will say Carnival was the process of getting on and off the ship perfectly normal really and smooth.
Easy.
And they were very clear about when you could get off, when you could get on, what the situation was. So, as far as that goes, it was fine. Everything was easy. Easy is good. Service. We talked about food before, and we mentioned that the food came quickly, which is not necessarily for us the measure of success, but also you want to have expectations. There was like one night that we had to wait to get seated a little while longer than expected, but the wait staff there, extremely nice.
Really accommodating. And the night that it took a little longer for us to get seated, we actually did have plans, and we asked them if they would mind just bringing everything out at the same time, and they said it was totally fine, and they did it, and they turned things around fast, and we were in and out.
There must have been a nearby table that didn't ask for that ordered all the same stuff, because I felt like 45 seconds after we talked to this guy, we had like, appetizers, entrees, an extra thing that we ordered, dessert, drinks. It was amazing.
There wasn't even time for us to be like, oh, I hope I hope they're fast. It was right
again, not that speed is everything, but they were just very accommodating and nice. And all around the ship, you could tell in certain circumstances, you look at a bar like, hey, there should be more people working here. So to my point earlier, that was a little tricky, but they were working hard, really nice folks. Every cruise line says, oh, it's our staff that makes the difference. Every company says that. Don't love that line. But I think it was a factor in our experience and our enjoyment.
No, definitely. And I think that's something that I've heard other people say about Carnival as well before too, that the staff is just like, they're really friendly. They're very, above and beyond to make sure everybody's having a good time. They're high energy, which I thought was really nice. It was good. It made a difference. Yeah.
So let's talk about the ship herself. As I mentioned, there's an article from when we did a day visit like 3 years ago that has some photos and even some horrible video. I should remove that. But some pictures. It's an interesting ship. The ship was originally home ported in New Orleans. That was a weird way to say that.
New Orleans?
New Orleans. And it shows because the overall theme is French Impressionism, or just in general French stuff.
I feel like everything's pretty heavily on the French Impressionism.
How about all the Eiffel Towers?
That's a painting.
Yeah, but I mean, they had physical Eiffel Towers.
I know, but it's supposed to be the painting. That was, which artist was that again?
Yeah, I mean, a French Impressionist painted waves at some point. It's not like, oh, well, the water leak is just...
No, but even the color scheme of that room, it's French Impressionism is the theme.
I believe her. So, and that is, to me, an interesting theme on a cruise ship, especially sailing the Caribbean. We'll get into the kind of feel and the somewhat over-the-top nature in a minute, because I want to talk about why that is. However, as far as the assembly and the presentation, generally in good shape inside. Carnival ships, I've seen a lot of Carnival ships over the years that I go, oh, could use a coat of paint, guys. There's a little rust showing on the outside. And years ago when I sailed Carnival, I remember thinking, some of this stuff needs work. I thought everything was in great shape.
No,
There's one cushion that was jacked up, but they just removed it.
I didn't even see that. For the age of the ship, I think it looked fine.
Yeah, that was on Impressionist Boulevard, but it wasn't like that second day. So I wonder if it tore and they were just like, get it out of here.
I guess.
So yeah, it was in good shape. Comfy seating everywhere we went. Our room, we have a cabin tour up as well. We'll link to that.
Oh, yes.
And that room was great. Excellent bedding.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that in the comparison section, in fact.
We will.
So the decor, to get back to that, now that you've pictured a few of these things we briefly touched on, and you're thinking about this decor, it is over the top.
There's a lot of it. It's not only, the theme was interesting. It looks a little off, I guess, for a Caribbean sailing, but it's just also the amount. It's like covered every inch of the...
Yes,
yeah,
every inch. Now, there's a reason for this, and that is that up until the Carnival Vista, so that's Carnival Vista, Horizon, Panorama, and now Mardi Gras, and soon Celebration, every Carnival ship was designed by, like the interior and the decor, by a guy named Joe Farkas, and he he doesn't do the designs anymore. His designs were always over the top. Whatever the theme was, whatever the look was, it was a lot of it. Yeah. Some people love that. Some people don't like that. It's very different than what you see on other lines, though. It is very obvious that they turned up any theme to 11. So for me, because of the French Impressionist theme on a ship in the Caribbean, I just didn't feel like that worked well enough to turn it to 11. However, it grew on me. Like toward the end, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm good with this.
I think I liked just the cohesion of it. I don't think I've been in a ship that's been like a theme that clearly since probably the last time we sailed DCL. And I know it sounds funny. Yeah. Yes, sorry, Disney Cruise Line. And I know it sounds funny to say because obviously the theme on all of those ships is Disney, but it was like the most cohesive theming. Every room
that's a good point.
was an artist and like, you know, was themed after a painting, sometimes for better, sometimes you have the sunflower room, which was it's Vincent's
Bar, I think.
Yeah, which was a lounge.
Sunglasses required.
Ooh, yeah. It was nice, but the colors it's very yellow.
Yeah. So overall, interesting ship, comfortable. Inside, you know, passengers in pretty good shape. Just a very different theme.
That's my favorite part, I think, was the theme.
It's part of why we picked the ship.
Yeah.
Part of why. So now let's talk about Carnival versus the others. Now, depending on who you are, you have very strong feelings one way or the other. The human tribalism that gets in the way of much civil discourse in our society does not stop at cruising, because there are people that swear Carnival is the greatest thing since sliced bread, that it is the absolute worst cruise line out there, and I'm pretty sure about 3/4 of those people have only sailed one cruise line ever. So, you know, same with NCL. You know, everyone has their favorites. Carnival does have, in many circles, a poor reputation, having a more entry-level kind of product. And I had my own preconceived notions going into this, especially from my Carnival experience 16 years ago, where I didn't think the ship was in great shape. We didn't love some of the service, but I thought this was a much better situation, and I'll get into that. Loyalists for any cruise line often, not everyone, failed to see what other cruise lines do well. And Carnival has a polished operation. For any lack of polish, let's say on the ship, because they talk about, you know, sometimes you see a Carnival ship and you wish they'd paint it more frequently. Yeah, the operation is a polished one. Like, you can tell they cracked the code, right? They went, we're the fun ship. People want to have a good time. We want to provide a lot of options and a fun experience on our ships. We know exactly what we need to dial in, what we need to do that. And to that extent, I can't fault them in almost any way. And that's what the crew shortage is going on right now. So our takes when we're comparing Carnival versus the other guys. So I think complimentary dining was one thing that stuck out as being you felt also better.
Then I think it was better than Royal Caribbean as well as Norwegian the last time we sailed. Not that it's necessarily bad. On Royal, I always feel like it can be very hit or miss for me. It's inconsistent, and it almost like sometimes it depends on the ship or the sailing. I don't know. It's been just. Sometimes I've had great meals. Sometimes I've been like, oh, it either came out cold or was too salty or whatever.
Carnival, this is our first sailing in 16 years on Carnival, so we'll see. But on this sailing,
on this sailing it was fantastic. I thought the food was amazing.
And the complimentary dining, we talked about main dining room, but also like the burritos. We love the burritos.
Yeah, and that was complimentary
the pizza
as well.
was I think better than pizza on Royal. And you know, we should mention MSC. I think. MSC pizza is amazing. So except for that, but I think main dining was a lot better on Carnival than on MSC. And I liked a lot of complimentary good options. Bedding, this one was big.
It blew me away. So I actually haven't sailed Carnival since the 90s on Carnival Ecstasy, a very long time ago.
We were young and didn't have back problems.
And I had no idea what to expect from as far as how the bedding was going to be, because when I was 11 years old, I probably slept pretty well anywhere. But in any case, I think, I was really impressed. I do have an issue with the mattresses on Royal. We always have to ask for a topper because I feel like they're really hard. And I know people like firm mattresses. I like a firm mattress, but it's a lot.
And on Royal, the quality of the bedding, I think, has gone downhill. It's the thread count is like double digits. Great for exfoliating though. And NCL, their bedding, in my experience, has been fine. Their mattresses, not as bad as Royal, but Carnival, their bedding and mattress, that was right up there with a lot of premium lines that we've sailed.
I mean, the standard stateroom, like, you know, on Royal I have less of an issue when we have like a junior suite or whatever, but it's, in a standard stateroom, I thought the bedding was more than adequate. The mattress was really comfortable, and
so that was fantastic. Carnival, our sailing did feel a lot more crowded. than sailings we've been on NCL and Royal. I often talk about or write about over at cruisehabit.com the fact that as you go up market, you get more favorable passenger space and passenger to crew ratios. This was very crowded. To the point there were certain things we didn't even try to do. Guy's Burgers, I mentioned that. Like, nope, didn't do that. We tried to go to the comedy show the first night, walked in, and it was so crowded. It has nothing to do with COVID. I mean, so crowded that if this was 5 years ago, I'd been like, nope, walking right out.
People were walking out because they couldn't find a seat because the room had already filled.
However, I feel like we need a mulligan on this because the first 2 days of the cruise, there was a tropical depression. It was a tropical storm that was forming. The weather was horrible, so no one was in any outside spaces. So that crowds everyone in, and this ship has quite a few outside seating areas. So I think that may have changed that factor a little bit. And then the crew shortages. I'm not trying to make excuses, by the way. I genuinely want to see what this is like next time.
Some of the venues are
But with
closed.
the crew shortages, some of the venues just weren't operating. So
that
even when everyone is inside, you're pushing people into fewer areas. But it did feel crowded. We'll see what that is next time. I have notes kind of in front of the camera or behind the camera here. I wrote, they're true to the fun ship branding.
Yeah.
And that was part of, I think, that formula, right? Is like
it was, yeah, and it was kind of. I wasn't sure what to expect on that either because I didn't know how the crowd is going to be. I've heard a lot of people say things, and again, I don't know that people that have actually cruised Carnival rather anytime recently. People frequently will say like, "Oh, it's just there's a lot of people, it's rowdier, it's whatever."
And listen, if somebody has cruised recently, that's okay. It's okay not to.
It's okay not to like everything.
Yeah.
But so I had low expectations in terms of that. I thought that it was going to be overly crowded. That maybe it was going to be a bit too much for us. We tend to like quieter. It was just fun though. I think I liked how lively it was. And
I think that particular sailing would have been much on like, a 7-night or something. At some point I would have been like, I'm going to need some quiet time.
Maybe. Sure.
But yeah, they were true to the fun ship branding. They made sure everyone's having a good time. As part of that, or maybe not, a little from A, a little from B, it was the loudest cruise I think I've been on. The ambient volume everywhere was just so high, so high, and I don't love that. When you layer in the frequent announcements that I mentioned, it'd be like we're going to be pulling up to the port, and we've pulled up. We're tying off. Okay, now they're putting out a gangway. Now the officer is talking to the immigration officials. It's just like, oh my God, so many updates, guys, throughout the entire cruise.
You're just talking about like how it kept waking us up because.
Well, that sticks out, but it was like that with everything. It was just like, show's going to start, show's coming closer. You know what's happening right now? People are walking in for the show. Okay, everyone, time to sit down for the show. Like, you're talking to the whole ship, right?
We were in the library and I was on a work call and they were making announcements about a raffle or something, and it was so loud that the other person could hear. But,
So louder than other lines for sure. Now something that went very well in this, and this was interesting because I had heard other people and I'd seen it firsthand, so I think it's partially process improvement. Embarkation, disembarkation, buttery smooth.
Yes.
Most lines have really improved this process, right?
Yeah.
All across from contemporary lines to ultra luxury lines. With this sailing, though, this is a full ship. There were a lot of people.
It was.
I would guess that they were at 90 or whatever they're capping at right now, 90, 95. It was a full ship. And I know they did sell out at least most categories a few days before sailing. So, given the number of people on board, the fact that embarkation, disembarkation was no slower, had no more friction than on premium cruises that I've been on where only 700 people showed up on a ship that holds 3,000. That's remarkable. It was great.
We walked right off. I couldn't believe it.
And right on. We talk about the embarkation and disembarkation procedures in those daily videos, so you can check those out. But that, to me, that's important. Yeah, the part in the middle is the meat and potatoes of the cruise, but you don't want to be stressed out when you arrive, and you certainly, on the last day, when you already don't want your cruise to be ending, you don't want to have a lousy experience. And I appreciate that they smoothed a lot of that.
We had to work. People have flights to catch and everything, so it can be stressful when
I have a lot of complaining about not being on a cruise ship to do. That takes a lot of my time. I need focus for that. So all that said, would you do it again?
Yes, absolutely. I loved it. I actually really like the ship. It's funny because we talked about the decor when we were first on, because it's really impressive how much of everything there is. But it did end up growing on me. I think it was really different. I honestly enjoyed how lively it was. I didn't think that I would. And I kind of liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And as you said, maybe for a longer sailing, I'd want a little bit more of a break. But for what it was really, really nice. I definitely would. I would cruise Carnival again. And particularly on that ship, because I like it.
We might have to do a mulligan on that ship. To research the crowding part, but I want to check out some of their other ships now. Absolutely. We'll do it again. We're actually looking at one toward the end of this year. We'll put it on the Our Cruises section of cruisehabit.com once it's confirmed and booked. But we're looking at one of their newest ships. Yeah. Very, very, very.
I want to see that too.
Yeah. Overall, I was really impressed. Are they my first choice? Yeah, I always say people, it's maybe the most common question I get is, what's your favorite cruise line? Oh, you've done so many cruise lines. What's your favorite? I'm always hesitant for stuff like that. Depends. Who am I going with? Where am I going? Why am I going? Am I going for like a quick weekend, de-stressor? Am I going to see new places? There's a lot of variables there. Am I going with people that have families, or everyone adults? Either way, is Carnival my first choice? No, probably not in most cases. However, was it, for when I'm not necessarily looking for quiet, was it a fun way to spend a few days and go on a cruise? Oh, absolutely. It was great. Really, really liked it. Again, now I want to see what that experience is like on other ships, and when it's not raining most of the time, which is not Carnival's fault.
That's true.
So stay tuned, and you'll find out when we get another one booked. We've got cruises booked on multiple lines, though. As I said, you can check out the Our Cruises section over at cruisehabit.com. Check out all the videos from the live vlog. Also, if you want to cruise, maybe on Carnival Conquest, maybe on, we've got virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com. We've got the group cruise on Virgin coming up in a few weeks, still space available. If you want to take any cruise at all with us or without us, maybe you purposefully want to avoid us. And if you do, this is the best way because they know where I am. Check out our friends, sponsors, and travel agents over at Touring Plans Travel. They've been, these are the same great people that have been planning our travel for years. They put up with all of my crazy changes and requests and weird questions. They can help you travel smarter as well. So help us and help yourself by checking them out. cruisehabit.com/help. Link somewhere here. Again, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. If you have questions about the Carnival Conquest, about our opinions on Carnival, or anything else cruising related, comment below. We'd love to talk ship with you.
Yeah, awesome.
Take care.
Okay.